Hello. It's
Hey,
Armel.
Louis.
Armel.
Yes, Armel.
Yeah.
Stay
Thank
well.
you for coming on. I'm calling it the circle for now.
Okay.
Um, Kind of exploring all topics about life and the full circle of life. So today I just want to ask you, who would you say that you are?
All right. Straight in the subject.
Straight in.
I'll say I'm a French I'll call it entrepreneur because I love to create. It's really hard for me to work for someone, and I've been creating things for the past I'll say 6 years now. I'm pretty young, and so you know entrepreneur based in Taiwan for now until tomorrow, where I'll be now moving my base to Toronto and try to expand my business in the North American market. Yeah.
Okay. What kind of entrepreneurship or what kind of businesses have you been
So
focusing?
yeah, I've been focusing in very different industries. I first started in the food and beverage industry, where I opened my restaurant, hold it for 3 years, sold it, and then switched everything toward a marketing agency where now I'm focused on creating content for foreign companies that start implementing business in Taiwan and Japan. So this has been the focus for the past 2 years. And now I'm shifting progressively towards, I mean, while keeping I think that's a really good source of revenue for me right now. But I think my passion is not really lying really towards doing content for brands that I don't really support or things like that. So it's been a very good financial support. But for now, I'm going to shift my focus towards something that really excites me, and it's going to be more towards spiritual growth. So I'm developing two podcasts that I've been running now for about a year, and we've been growing quite slowly, but we're learning. It's a learning process, and so the whole subject is about linking entrepreneurship and spirituality, and trying to also push my personal brand as for like people call it jnana yoga, but it's like the yoga of wisdom, and that would be like everything that relates in the study of books, of spiritual books, of spiritual scriptures, and all these kind of things. So less about the yoga in the physical aspect of it, but more in the mental aspect of it. Yeah. So very wide things. But I'm, as I say, I'm young, and I'm learning where should I really focus my intention in, where something that I'm really passionate. So I'm learning, and I'm trying everything, and I see which one I like the most.
Yeah. Have you had a chance to kind of encapsulate what is your mission for your life?
My mission or my purpose, I'm every day I'm thinking about it. I really want to figure out what it is really, but I get a lot of hints, and I feel like I really have strong knowledge in everything regarding consciousness and the intellect, the mind. All those things are really interesting me, and I do have like strong basis in that subject. And I feel like the world is in such a situation right now where everything is oriented to real materialism and financial growth, all this kind of thing. And we can all observe that the world is not doing that well at the moment. February 2025, I feel like the things are shaking a little bit. So I hope I can bring through my knowledge, I hope I can bring help towards people that don't really know what's their purpose are in life. When artificial intelligence is going to take over like most of the intellectual work, right? And then people will maybe don't understand they will lose their job, and they won't understand what they're here for. So hopefully I can bring help towards humanity to really unify the global consciousness.
Nice. What what has been your proudest moment in your life?
My proudest moment in my life. Um, I think my proudest moment in my life is something that no one has really seen, and I'm the only one proud of it, maybe. And it's my growth and the change that I've been making, and those I'm really proud of it because it's been tough. And if I look at myself now, and if I look at myself 2 years ago, it's totally two different person, and this is thing that I'm really grateful for and proud of.
Nice. And what would you say is your biggest challenge right now?
My biggest challenge right now will be myself. I feel like I'm in a constant fight for myself against myself, and the strongest weakness that I have is a part of maybe insecurity, sometime fear, sometime um, I think no, insecurity and fear. That's the main two things that I'm dealing with. And that's the big challenges, because those things are only in my head and I'm aware of it. And so I'm working every day to get rid of it and, embrace those as like stepping stone to move forward. So those one are the big challenges, but I believe they won't last for so long. I'm getting like rid of them quite nicely now.
Yeah. So I heard that you're French, right?
Yes.
What from that background or culture do you feel like helped you that you really appreciate and value?
Yeah, I really appreciate the way French people think, and the way, we are known as really negative people and complaining a lot, but which is true. But in a deeper meaning, I feel like French people are they have a strong critical thinking, and they wanna make sure things are right, and they always want to make sure things are right. So sometimes it's a little bit too much, but I feel like that's a really strong point. And French people are very strong in. So let's say right now, the US are doing great in the tech industry. China, Asia is also doing great in the tech industry because that's the opportunity they do have, and they're really good in those industries. France right now is a little bit behind because we're not good in tech, right? We've just released a new AI model language called Le Chat, but it's not good. It's not that good. So we're not good in tech, but I believe that French people are really good in everything regarding creativity and thinking. So I believe that in a in a few amount of time, when the things will be needed, we'll shift toward this. We'll need the help for French people with their philosophical thinking. Same as the 17th century when the Enlightenment period, where there was all the French philosophers that helped the society move towards whatever happened in the 17th century. But I feel like, yeah, the way we think and the way and our creativity is something pretty strong.
Okay. How do you feel like you've used that in your life thus far? The creativity or the yeah.
I think I use it every day. It's you know for me, entrepreneurship is about creation, right? And is creating things for the service of others. And so every single aspect of any business I've been in has been a creative process, right? So every day I'm working on creativity, but different layers. I'm trying to draw. I'm trying to play piano. I never play any instrument in my life. I'm trying to learn how to play piano, and I think it's really important because that's our connection with that our creative power is one of our most powerful things we do have as human beings.
Yeah, what about your background do you feel maybe you would improve upon, or that you kind of mentioned French or might be considered negative or complaining. What are some
Right.
qualities of maybe that background or the way you were raised that you might change for yourself and for the future, if anything?
That I would have changed for sure. There's so much thing I would have changed. Um, I think when I grew up in France, or like until my I was in France until my 19 years old, and so I was surrounded in an environment where you know I'm gonna activate noise cancellation just real quick. Yeah. So a lot of negativity around, and a lot of judgments, a lot of so it's our way of thinking as French people is a strength, but it's also a huge weakness. And right now we're using it as a weakness. It all depends how you use it. Same with an iPhone. Like an iPhone can be something very beneficial, but can be something very harming as well. And for us, the way we think is also can go both sides. And right now we're not using the right way. So during my 19th years old, I was surrounded in this environment, and so my life was based on this reality. You know, I thought that everything I would be doing, I would be judged for it. And everything I will try to start, then people will try to tear me down. And so my entire reality has been based on that. And then the day I left and the day I went to Japan in 2019, I realized that actually, like, um, things are so different from a country to another, and the way of thinking is so different, and there's not one only truth. So if I would have changed something, I would have understand that I should not care about external factors, and I should focus about what I'm providing, and that would have changed so much. It would have. I used to be really I have an anger issue. Get angry very easily. About 3 or 4 years ago, I used to be very stressed. I used to be have a lot of anxiety, and all those things I would have got rid of them very quickly if I understood that the environment cannot shape me.
Hmm. Um, is it something important for like French people regarding like what is different about French culture or way of thinking compared to other countries in Europe? Is there a big difference, or it's how does it relate to like its environment? How does France relate to
Yeah.
its environment?
Yes. Oh, when I say when I say this is that it's a guess. It's my interpretation of it. Is
Right, right.
I have not checked like scientific fact about the brain of a French person and the brain of a Taiwanese person. But
Mm-hmm.
when I observe everything, I can see that Taiwanese people, if you tell them to do um, you tell them a SOP, they will follow the SOP from A to Z, and they will not do anything outside of the box. They will follow those points very precisely, and that's why Taiwanese people are really good at making cheap. Because you
Mm-hmm.
give them very small detail, and they will be able to follow. If you give this SOP to a French person, he will do everything he can to do the opposite of what you give him, and try to do things on his own, and try to innovate, try to do like you know you give him a recipe for a burger, he will maybe try to add some raclette cheese inside. It's like, we should try this, that might be very good, while a Taiwanese person will never do this. And so I think this is the main difference. The the president gonna say something, then French people are gonna say, oh, we got to do the opposite of what he's saying because he's saying something wrong. And so this is all this mechanic of thinking that is so different and that is fascinating. And I think that's what really make an environment that is, but it's just temporary. I feel like we went through a temporary phase where then people were judging you. You are doing this, that's not the way you should do. I should show you how you do, and this is not the correct way, or so all the judgments, all the tearing you down, all those things happen with that. But I really believe it's just temporary, because if you use this way of thinking towards something beneficial, then, for example, right now we can question, how is AI really, tracking us? What are, some people may just go inside this and not really look about what's outside of the how to call that. They may not look how deeper into the subject and understand really how the technology is used, while French people may, inquire more duped on, like, oh, they may track us, they may take all our data, sell it for others. So I think, it might shift towards something beneficial, probably.
Great. And how was your family? Was it kind of typical French? Was it a little bit different? How would you consider your family upbringing relative to the culture that it was in?
I would say I could see both sides, because my father was really he was really French, and he passed away when I was 13. So I only met him when I was young, but he was also like very business oriented, very towards materialism, influenced by his parents. And his parents really told him, like, you got to make a lot of money, you got to be successful, we want to do good things. And so that's what he did. He made a lot of money, and it impacted his health. And so I could see this side of it, while my mom is completely the opposite. My mom, she was in a very well-known school in Paris, very good student, went very high in university, but then she said, I don't want to do this. That's not for me. And she took her luggage and she do a world tour when she was 18 years old. So it's maybe like 35 years ago. She did a whole world tour with her friend. And since then she always traveled, and even now she's traveling faster than I do. So yeah, I could see really both side of the thing. And it's not the typical French family, for sure. um Thanks to my mom that went abroad and understood that there was different perspectives that we could implement into our lives.
What do you appreciate most about your parents, or what you learned from them, what you received from them?
I really appreciate the fact that they gave me the opportunity to do whatever I liked. I don't know if that's the best way of for parenting, because I haven't studied the subject, but I feel like I did everything I wanted to do, and through the mistake I've made, I've learned, right? And that has not been the same with my older brother, where they restricted him quite a lot. And so, for example, they will tell him, like, you can't play video games for like more than an hour per day. And so the only thing he wanted to do is to play the whole entire day and the whole entire night, and that's all he had in his head, and he could never try this until the day he left the house. And so since now, he still loves to play video games, because that's something that he was not able to do when he was younger. While for me, I I could play video games whenever I wanted, and so I did it, for a year intensely. Very bad year, but then I've learned this. I've learned that that was not beneficial for me. It brought nothing good to me, and so I could move on. And so I really believe that um, the fact that they give me the free canvas to do whatever I wanted was the best thing I could. It was an amazing school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm grateful for that.
What do you wish your family knew about you?
Um, that's a tricky question. What do I wish my family knew about me? I think I'm yet to discover really, what I'm hiding to them, because I feel like I'm trying to be as open as I can with my mother. And so we discuss a lot about a lot of things, but there is always like, there is three kind of persona. There is the persona that we're gonna show in the society, in a social life. That's the character we're showing. Then there is the persona we're showing at home, with maybe our wife or our cats in my case. And then there is the persona that we never show to anyone, right? And that all relate to self-awareness. And I think I'm really focusing on really understanding what is this persona that I don't want to show to anyone, and I want to shift this character towards something pure that has nothing to hide. So right now at the moment, I'm not so sure what I wish they knew, because I'm trying to share as much as I can.
Or maybe what do you wish you could tell them? Is there anything you wish you could tell them that you haven't told them?
Mm. I don't think so. I think I'm trying to really say everything out. I know that life, it's very precious, and I'm trying to everything that is really important. I'm gonna make sure I tell them. Then it's up to them to really understand or not.
Mhm.
And so sometimes I talk about some subject with my brother that I think is really important to share with him, but he might not really get it because it's not the stage where he is right now. And so yeah, I think I'm saying pretty much everything I should say. I'm calling them almost every day, so we talk a lot.
Do you have an example of like a topic that you speak to your brother about, but you feel he's not ready for?
Yeah, I would say everything regarding spirituality, consciousness. What are we here for, and that we should not focus on material gain, financial. I mean, now he knows more, right? Because maybe a year or 2 years ago, it was hard, like really money focused, and trying to make money in any way, even if it's not something he like. And so that was really something I've tried to tell him, but actually we can't change anyone. So the best thing is to us ourselves focus on doing it. Like he's seen me shifting from a restaurant that wasn't my passion towards something that I like more, the marketing agency. And now that I'm tired of it, I'm trying to shift towards something I like more, and he see it's very beneficial for me. I think he understood. So he people can't hear, but they can see. And so yeah, that's an example.
And this is an older brother, right?
Yep.
How much older is he?
4 years old.
Or 4 years older?
Yep.
How is that experience? Is it challenging to kind of lead your brother in a way to kind of have something you would like to share, but he's an older brother and
Yeah, it's
okay.
been really challenging. It's been really, I mean, for me, it's been really, really challenging. And that's also one of the things that shaped me, when I was saying earlier that my environment shaped me the way I'm right now. When I was younger, he always had the role of older brother. And so everything I will do, he'll try to show me that, it's not the way to do. And he tried to teach me, which is starting with a really good intention, right? Trying to teach me, especially after losing my father. He got the position of the oldest man in the family. And so I really felt that everything I was doing wasn't good. And so after I left France and I started the things on my own, all this insecurity that I'm still trying to heal 100%, but I've well worked on it. All this insecurity, I figured out that it was coming from this, because every time I was doing something, I had a voice in my head that was telling me it might not be good. And this voice was actually my brother's voice. And so as soon as I realized that, and I realized, but wait, that's actually like those thoughts, they're just like patterns that I've implemented during my youth. and now I'm reapplying them in my life, but I can just get rid of them instantly if I want. And so it's been really challenging at the beginning, but now I understood how it works. So it's getting easier and easier.
What do you admire most about your brother?
I admire the way he's grounded. You know, I tend to be not grounded at all. And so the way he think, the way he operates, it's always very structured, always very always very precise, and it is like mathematics, you know, for him in the material world. It's like 2 + 2 is gonna be equal 4, and he does this way. For me, it's more abstract. So I really admire that, and I try to learn from this.
And what would you say he would? What do you think he admires most about you? If you had to guess, or if he's told you.
Maybe my discipline. I'm just guessing. I don't know what he admires me for, but I would say maybe my discipline.
Mhm.
But I'm quite strict.
Quite strict.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Switching topics, kind of. Well, so you don't have any sisters.
I have a younger sister. Yeah.
You have a younger sister.
I'm yet to know. You know, I feel like I know her, but now she's so 4 years younger. I'm the middle child, and so my younger sister, um, she's doing her thing on her own right now. She's hanging out with friends, you know, doing school, and and she's in another city from the rest of my family. So I'm yet to discover her, but I have a true feeling that she's gonna surprise us. You know, I think she's gonna really surprise us.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I feel like, you know, my brother have some strength, I have some strength, and I think she's gonna be a combo of both, and she's gonna do amazing thing. Yeah, because she's also very strong, and she went through really hard things at her age, and she went through those pretty easily. So I'm sure that as soon as she finished school and she really realized what's her passion, I think it's gonna be quite surprising.
What do you think she needs from you, if anything?
I think she will need some support. Yeah, some support, some guidance, and and I think she will need this. If I can help her in that way, that'll be
Well,
the best. And also some time together. When she came visit me in Taiwan, we had some amazing time. It was really good. So I think she'll need some time together.
what kind of support do you think she needs?
Mm, support in maybe how to handle emotions, or I'm not sure. You know, it's hard for me to really understand what she needs because I don't know her that much.
Hmm.
But I would say maybe how to handle emotions, how to get a healthy lifestyle. That's also something I can help out with. And so yeah, but I don't think I'm the only one that can provide this to her. So you know, I may not help her out this way. Like, I mean, I'm sure she might learn by herself.
Yeah. Uh, would you like to get closer with her, or do you feel like it'll just happen when it's the right
Yeah,
time?
I think it will happen when it's the right time. Yeah, I think it's just gonna happen when it's the right time.
Okay. Um, is there anything you regret in life so far?
I don't think so. There's a lot of things that I'm not proud of, but I think that was very necessary for me to be at the the stage I am right now. So I don't regret pretty much anything because it all has participate to the growth, right? So even when I did huge mistakes, was actually a huge opportunity to learn from them. So I don't regret anything so far. There's a lot of things that I'm not proud of, for sure, but it's if I haven't done them, then I would have not learned.
Are you open to sharing what some of those might have been?
Yeah, I can say, for example, when I was saying the anger issue I had, there was some time where I was getting really mad against people for just little reason, and this, of course, I'm not promoting the fact to be angry, but because I could notice that I was so angry like that, I could heal my past trauma and help me move forward. So being able to observe our emotions and really figure it out what's the one we should work on is actually very good. So it happened, I can't, I get angry against some people in the street or things like that. It happened, but I can't regret it, right? It's yeah, it has been a stepping stone for me to heal the past trauma. And yeah, so anger and other things, like if it's not about emotion and more on something more material, it would be my first restaurant. I went there directly without knowing anything about the food industry. I didn't even know how to cook for myself. I was ordering Uber Eats every single day. So I could regret starting a business like this, and losing quite a lot of money. But then actually, it was such an amazing opportunity for me to learn. It was the same amount of money that I would have spent in a school and learn, So I, I would have rather opening this restaurant and having this amazing adventure and like meeting so many amazing people and lose a little bit of money, but then learn from that. And so that was that's something else that I don't regret.
Yeah. What's dang, I lost my train of thought. Ooh. What's been your most useful or favorite tool or modality for healing? Because I heard you mention that you were able to heal and work on some past traumas and etc. With regards to anger, as an example. But has there been a favorite tool or practice activity that has helped
Yeah.
you?
Yeah, my favorite one, and the one that helped me the most for the past 4 years was working out. Yeah, and working out in the sense of so now I would say, like today I would say meditation, right? Because now I really know how to meditate, and I'm able now to get in a really deep meditation state. But working out was the easier way to get into a meditative state, so I would not call it meditative state, because when a meditation is really something that is practiced, with the intention to get in touch with our higher consciousness. And when we work out, that's not our main intention. But as we are so much focused into the exercises, we calm our mind. The mental is off. And so while the mental is off, we get into obviously another state of awareness, where we get aware of the muscle, we get aware of the posture we have, we get aware on our feet, our toes. And so that was a really good exercise for me to start learning that I could calm down this way.
What kind of working out did you do? Exercise?
I do mostly body weight training. Yeah, body weights. So
And then do you have a specific type of meditation that you do now that you enjoy the most?
yeah, the one I do the most often is Japa Mala meditation. So, just repeating mantras constantly in my head. while also focusing on the breath. But that's the one I'm practicing, and I feel like it's the most efficient for me right now at the moment.
What's one example of a mantra you can share?
I mean, I have my own mantra that I've been initiated with in India, and so that's the one I'm using. Is Soham.
Soham.
Yeah. But there's a lot of mantras. So I'm focusing only in one. So it's not I just get this one. That's it.
Yeah. So you just repeat Soham, like so.
Yeah,
So-
in my head. Yeah.
And what does it mean, if you don't mention?
There is a specific meaning, and I wrote it down. It would be nice for me to read it. Let me just get this, because the meaning is quite specific. Um, so it's I am that I am. That's the translated meaning directly, and then the meditator is existence itself. He is without form, without quality, without past, present, or future. No bonds or limitation restrict the aspirant who has Soham firmly fixed in his mind. So that's this mantra I've chosen.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you mind to share a little bit about the type of yoga that you found more recently that you practice?
Yeah. I've learned, it's recent that I've learned that, and I was always looking for, I was always fascinated by consciousness, by like why we are here, what we're doing on Earth, what's outside of the 3D world. I always loved that, and I always try to look for a school, to get more foundation on that. And one day, my mom, she said, "Oh, I'm gonna do a yoga teacher training in India." And I was like, "Oh, I really want to go to India. That's somewhere I really wanted to go since I'm very young." And she said, "Yeah, if you come, you got to do the teacher training." I was like, "All right, I'm gonna do that." And I went there, and when I arrived, I thought it's gonna be, yoga, intense yoga sessions every day. I thought it's gonna be like that, but actually there was a huge focus on Vedanta philosophy. And so when I arrived, I was like, wow, that's actually exactly what I need, because like they were sharing in a very precise way every single topics I'm fascinated about. And so I've been able to learn the foundations of what's this philosophy is about. So the yoga I've learned, then the whole thing is a holistic way, and so they're covering, uh, they're trying to cover every aspect of our life to drive us towards an expansion in consciousness. And so it will gonna be through physical exercise, the actual yoga we know, breathing techniques, the food we eat, the rest we have, the book we read, the meditation we do. So it's very a holistic way of practicing. So it's
What's
not
the
only, yeah.
what's the basics of the philosophy of
The basics of the philosophy,
the Vedanta? Was it
Vedanta.
Vedanta?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The basics, I would say, is that we are what they call Brahman, which is the absolute consciousness, and this abstract concept of Brahman is something we can't understand. And if we ever think we have understand it, what is it? It means we don't know what is it, because we can't understand that. So Brahman, this consciousness has a creative power that it's called Maya, and all the projection that we have in our world that we can sense with our eyes, our hands, and the nose, every senses we have. it's actually a projection of the creative power and everything. And so if we focus our our life toward this projection, which is called Maya, then our life doesn't have any meaning, because Maya is an illusion. And so my life is so different than yours. And if we are both in the same room, we're gonna see totally different rooms due to our experience, due to our the path thing we do. You know, if you see a table, the table might remind you your grandmother table. But for me, it's gonna be the table when I was working in school, you know? And so our entire life are illusion, and they are limited. And the whole philosophy is to really understand what is Brahman and tapping in it to this unlimited consciousness. And that's the duty of everyone, actually, because when we think the only mission that we are all sharing in life, all human beings are sharing one single mission, is to be happy. We all want to be happy. And when we feel happy, it's when we are connected to Brahman. The happiness, the absolute bliss is the quality of Brahman. And so when we look at at a movie, or when we work out, as we talked earlier, our mental gets calmed. We get a peace of mind, and due to the fact that the mental is calm, we can tap into this infinite consciousness, and that's when we feel happy. And if I'm doing something, for example, that's something that can relate to the modern world. If, for example, I'm going to shoot a TikTok video, and I'm gonna be fully happy about the TikTok video, you know, I'm not gonna be insecure about the view I'm gonna make, or I'm not gonna be insecure about what people gonna look at me, or, you know, I'm gonna be fully happy, fully present, with a peace of mind. Then the video will blow up, because people can see themselves inside me, because it's only one consciousness. So if I'm working with the Brahman energy, then they're gonna see themselves towards me, and then they're gonna like the video, and they're gonna resonate. That's the resonate effect, right? So yeah, I would say that I'm not sure that's really the basics properly said of the philosophy, but I think that's the most important aspect of it.
Yeah, I think it's well said, and it's what you take from it too, right?
Yeah.
And how you interpret it, and what feels, how you resonate with it. So there's no wrong answer,
Right.
at least in my opinion. It's just how you receive it.
Sure.
I'm down to go a little bit more if you are, or it's up to you also.
Yeah, no problem. I just checked my phone if it's still in a battery. Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. Do about 10 more minutes.
Yep.
Where do you see the intersection of like the individual and who you are, and society and culture at large, in terms of, yeah, the interplay between those two forces, consciousness, energies?
I would say it's love. I'm not sure if I really understood the question, but I would say the thing that can help us really move toward a unified society would be love. I think we definitely moving toward this. The more we're gonna, you know, love is also one of the quality of Brahman, and so we should be able to love each other as you are my brother. And, you know, if I meet someone in the street, I should love him as much as I love my mom, because why not, right? And so this way could really help the world to get unified. You know, if I talk to someone in the streets, he should not be scared of why a stranger is talking to me. You know, you should be able to to answer, reply, get curious, understand each other, and that's where opportunities can happen. And so I think love is really the thing we need right now.
What's been your favorite memory in Taiwan?
I would say time in nature. Yeah, very rich in nature. So all the hikes I've done, all the walks in the kind of jungle I've done, they're definitely my favorite memories. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite one? Favorite walk or hike?
Yeah, it could seem like when I say that it could seem very touristic, but actually when you go, it's Elephant Mountain. When you
Mhm.
go on the top and you start getting the like further in the mountain, it's actually infinite, and
Mm.
you can find so many paths where there's like no one, and there's every time I go, I find new things. There's hidden temples. There's like it's very very beautiful and very very powerful, energetically.
Mm.
Like I recommend really anyone in Taiwan to go lose itself in any take not the main path, take other path, and you'll discover like some statues in gold and some temples and some is infinite. Yeah.
Mm. If there were, like, if you were the president of Taiwan, what's one thing you would change about the society or the culture, or like if,
Ah, this one is a hard one. I'm not sure if I'm yet at the stage to be able to change anything. I think they changed me.
Mhm.
So that's already a very good thing. I don't think they should change. It's yeah, they're the way they are. Yeah,
So
I
how
think
did
it's pretty
they?
good.
Yeah, I guess how did they change you, or how have you changed from your experience in Taiwan?
Actually, the way I understood the way they work. So that come back also to my anger thing. When I had the restaurant, I used to work as like a French person, and the French chef. We always see the French chef yelling at the people and everything, and so I thought that was the way we should do. But every time I was yelling at a Taiwanese person, he was quitting his position.
Mm.
And because they can't get it. They don't understand why are you talking to me like this. And
Mm.
so this changed me so much. I've learned, and that's actually what part of it healed my anger issues, that I understood that, wait, if I talk that way, it doesn't work. But if I talk with a smile and very kindly, and I explain the subject very nicely with a good intention to help them learn and to help them progress, and then everything goes well. And so the way they handle situation is very something I admire, and I've learned from it.
Nice. Um, is there anything you would like to share? Um, I don't know, a book, a quote, maybe a project that you're working on, or something that you just want to get to the audience, whoever the audience might be. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, I'll share a book first that I just finished reading and I really loved. It's very, very nice. It's called okay, the name is actually in French, so it's called Suffit mon amour in French, but I'm gonna get you the name in English. Suffit mon amour.
my love, Sufi, my love.
Uh, it's called The 40 Rules of Love,
Mm.
actually. The 40 Rules of Love. Very nice book.
Mhm.
Very, very nice book. Amazing. So I want to share this one, and then for the audience that is listening as well, I'm gonna start from zero. Tomorrow I'm flying to Toronto. Is gonna be a whole new life for me, and that's actually, I feel like the snake year is participating towards that. When I think of a snake, I see the snake changing his skin. Removing all the scars and the damage the skin has, to remove it and to help for growth. And so I'm really gonna start from zero, and I'm opening a new accounts on Instagram, and I'm gonna do on YouTube as well, where, as I've talked at the beginning, I'm gonna push forward my personal brands, which I've never really done before. I always been on the back of the camera and not really in front of it. And so I'm gonna start everything new towards this holistic yoga that I've shared with you in this conversation. And so you can find it on Instagram with like yoga MDHVA.
Okay.
Yeah, yoga MDHVA.
And I'll
And
get
then
the link and put it at the bottom
yeah,
also.
yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. So for those who don't know, like the year of the snake is for the Chinese zodiac, right? Some Western
Right.
audience might not know that. They're just for clarity.
Yes.
Okay. Last question. I'm going to start this thing. I learned it from Diary of CEO. But what's one piece of advice you would give to the next guest, whoever that will be?
The next guest,
Yeah. What's one piece?
an advice for the conversation or an advice for his life in general?
For his life.
I would say that they should not worry much because everything is perfect, and whatever whatever the society we in right now is showing us, hard time, war, whatsoever, we need to understand that's for the better, and everything is perfect. We are a product of God, and we should not worry. We should walk carefree and light-hearted.
Nice. And what is one question that you would ask this guest?
One question, I will ask him, what is the thing he loved the most?
What is the thing he loves the most?
Yeah, but love like unconditionally, not like loving food or whatsoever. Like, what's the thing you could do anything for?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, that's all I have. Is there anything else you would like to share?
Hey, I'm good. I think I'm good. Thank you for all those questions. It was hard to really focus, in between packaging and administrative papers.
Yeah.
It was a good um, it was a good break. So I appreciate this time. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you as well. It's a pleasure for me. I really enjoyed doing this. It's inspiring to hear your journey and all that you've been through, and hope that that you got something out of this as well, something to reflect on, and maybe make some just some learnings and continue to grow. And can't wait to see you in the future and all the amazing things that you'll do as well. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Willis.
Thank you. And I'll go ahead and stop the recording.